Welcome once again to Action Sports World, where this week the best of the world's freestyle snowboarders are entertaining the crowds at the annual Ehrenstall from Innsbruck in Switzerland. We'll head next to northern Spain and the Catalonian city of Lleida for round 2 of the Air Race 1 World Cup. Pylon racing at its thrilling best. The legendary Berghaus Stadium in Innsbruck, Austria, was once again the host location for the Opel Ehrenstall. 24 of the world's best snowboarders continued this winter's inaugural Ehrenstall tour with a second stop in Innsbruck, the place where it all began over 20 years ago.
This is the birthplace of the Ehrenstall, so it's so fitting to come home and really send it off right. We have more music acts, we have the most talented riders in the world coming to compete, and this is our second stop, so this really determines what's going to happen at the very last stop in Los Angeles.
It's always special to be in Innsbruck, you know, it's kind of the snowboard capital of Europe, so whenever there's a contest, tons of people show up and they're all really into it, you know, like screaming your name, and it's a really special feeling to drop in with 15 to 20,000 people just going bananas.
Ehrenstall is right now, I guess, the biggest tour in snowboarding that is like really following, like 3 stops. Ehrenstall, same guys, you know, you can see recognition throughout the events. So it's the dopest tour to be a part of, I think.
Every year coming back to Innsbruck is such an honor. It's such an old contest. It's one of the oldest running snowboard contests now, so just to be a part of it every year, it's like, it's just history in the making.
Ehrenstall is part of snowboard history, and all the great names have ridden here. Big names like Travis Rice. For me to be here today and to perhaps write my name into the history books of the Ehrenstall is a massive thing.
It's just super special to win an Ehrenstall, and I think first time when I won the Ehrenstall was in Munich, and 3 years ago here in Innsbruck. That was my second time, and yeah, it's of course one of the biggest contests in the world.
Winning in Beijing was, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that, but I knew I could do it, but I knew I had to do a triple cork, and I hadn't done one for 1.5 years. But when I landed one in practice, I realized this could go all the way, and it did, and that sets me pretty good up for the rest of the tour, which kind of is my big goal this season.
I've been close in winning a couple times. I've been on the podium 3 times, but no, not on the top yet. Hopefully I can try. I'll try my best here, and then hopefully in LA as well. But like combine those 3 events and win the overall would be the best. You know, we get that epic ring. You know, that's a legendary thing to have.
Back at the Ehrenstall's original home location, 24 of the world's best riders entered the first round to qualify for the final day. Based on the riders' feedback, the Ehrenstall contest format was changed. There was no more head-to-head knockout system in the first round, and in each of the rounds the best 2 jumps of the riders would count rather than just one. Among the 8 riders eliminated were the 2 Austrians, Werner Stark and Matthias Weissenbacher, but most of the big names were still in the mix to battle it out in round 2. As the crowd started to pack the Berghaus, it was time for round 2. Now the field got stripped down from 16 to 8 riders. Previous Ehrenstall Innsbruck winner Erik Willett was up against Ståle Sandberg from Norway in the first heat. Sandberg, who's come close to winning the Ehrenstall on numerous occasions, stomped a perfect backside triple cork 1440 in his best run. .96 points and the lead for the Norwegian. 2013 Ehrenstall Innsbruck champion Erik Willett was now up against it. He threw down a nice switch backside 1260 mute grab, but was it enough to beat Sandbach? Well, it wasn't. Sandbach beat Willett by more than 12 points.
But I feel it's so early in the rounds, you know. We have one more knockout round and final, so I kind of took out my two best tricks almost now, so we're gonna see how it's gonna go.
Up next, Tor Lundström against Sage Kotzenberg. The Olympic slopestyle champion once again showed his style credentials and nailed his backside 1260's rocket air perfectly. $39.43 points and the lead for the 21-year-old American. The young Swedish rider Tor Lundström wasn't intimidated and answered back with a backside triple cork 1440 mute grab. Throwing it big when it counts most, Lundström beat Kotzenberg with his two best scores.
I was just f***ing stoked I landed my trick. Nothing more to it, I'm just happy I landed.
In the next heat, the battle of the Norwegian friends, Emil Ulsletten and Torgeir Berggren. Berggren set the early pace of the heat with a backside triple cork 1440 mute grab with a slightly sketchy landing. Still 39.59 points, and after two runs, the lead for Berggren. Could Air and Style Beijing winner Ulsletten stand up to the challenge? He launched himself into a switch backside triple cork 1440 mute grab. A nice long grab, perfect landing, and Ulsletten knocked out his friend Torgeir Berggren.
Of course, I'm stoked to go through to the next round, but it sucked pretty hard to beat out Torgeir because he rode super well and he deserved the spot as well. And when I was standing on top, I had to learn myself a new trick. I've never done that trick before because he rode so well, and that was the only way I could beat him.
Another battle of the friends in round two saw Peter Peronen take on his Finnish compatriot Rut Tunteri. Tunteri threw down the gauntlet with his first jump, a perfectly executed cab 1440 mute grab. $33.59 points and the early lead for Tunteri. Two-time Air and Style winner Peronen now faced a real challenge to beat his Finnish friend. Charging down the in-run, Peter went for a backside 1440 mute grab. Clean in the air and a solid landing with 44.32 points. Peronen kept the upper hand and moved into the third round.
I kind of expected that it's gonna be a crazy riding level. Even they changed the format that you have to do two different tricks, but I think that's good.
Innsbruck's reputation as a winter sports location hails back to the '76 Winter Olympics. As well as the Bergazal Stadium, the bobsleigh course is still in use. Innsbruck local Werner Stock and Halldór Helgason from Iceland went for a visit.
The top speed is about 120, 121 kilometers an hour.
120k. That is so insane.
So we have G-force. In the middle we have the roundabout, and there you have a pressure of about 4G.
Well, despite the initial scare, there was no turning back, and Bernie and Halldór got themselves ready for their first ever bobsleigh ride.
We are excited and nervous,
but you told me that your mom did this already.
My mom did it, and
it feel nicer for
so
me. Yeah.
I guess we have to do it. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That was sick.
This is so
Danke. Full
Yeah.
geil, eh? You were just sending it. There was no stopping or braking or not like, okay, I'm gonna take it mellow now. It was just like full on, full speed and like crazy G-forces and stuff like that.
Back at the Bergesal, Stock and Helgeson were joined by Yuki Kodona to get a lesson in Tyrolean yodel culture.
Hello, Bernie.
Thanks, Bernie.
We will sing a song for you now, and after you can try. You should try, you should try.
That's really impressive. It's a catch though. It's not easy at all, and I'm like, that's really traditional, and I really like it actually. I'm really hyped to have those guys here.
I thought I was gonna have it with my mustache. I thought it was gonna be a natural thing for me, but didn't really work out.
Well, just before the start of round 3, the snowfall at the Bergesal Stadium started to get heavier, and the Airnstyle Shapers had their work cut out to get the kicker prepared for the world's best big air riders. Heat 1, and Norway's Ståle Sandberg was up against Niklas Mattsson from Sweden. In the worsening conditions, Mattsson launched himself into a big frontside 1260 Indy, and then did a frontside board slide on the down rail. A decent first run and 36.26 points for Mattsson. That was the last chance saloon for Ståle Sandberg, who couldn't land his 2 previous attempts. The 21-year-old knew he had to deliver and landed a perfect backside triple cork 1440 Indy. On the technical side of things, this is a must-do trick, and Sandberg nailed it. So what a comeback by the Norwegian, who moved into the super final.
I was lucky that Niklas fell on his last try, because if he had 2 combined scores, I had no chance. So I was kind of either do a backflip or a triple cork. So I ended up landing the triple cork, and he fell. So I had a little luck with me.
In Heat 2, Tor Lundström faced Finland's Peetu Paronen. At 26 years old, Paronen is one of the oldest competitors and used all his experience to put down a clean cab 1260 double grab. As solid as ever, 39.22 points, and Paronen was in the lead. Well, now the pressure was on for Lundström, who knew that he had to step up his game. The 22-year-old went all in, but was his backside double cork 1080 mute grab enough? Well, good style, but not such a technical trick, and with the overall score of the 2 best runs, Paronen kept the upper hand.
I'm stoked to made it to the super final, but yeah, hope it gets a little faster for the super finals. I can throw some good stuff.
In Heat 3, 17-year-old US rider Kyle Mack was up against Sebastian Toutant from Canada. After a few disappointing Airnstyles, Toots was looking to qualify for a final again and threw himself into a frontside double cork 1080 mute grab. Clean jump and a solid landing from 41.36 points for Toutant. Airnstyle Innsbruck rookie Kyle Mack needed to answer with a high score, and the American went for a frontside 1260 tail grab. nice trick, but the overall score wasn't good enough and Seb Tutant moved into the super final.
Air style is a competition where it's really tough to constantly get on the podium. The head-to-head format makes it possible that you've got to ride against better riders early on, but today I'm really happy that I made it to the final, even if the conditions are really hard.
The world's longest-running snowboarding contest returns for another stellar display of snowboarding action. This is the real testing ground for the world's best snowboarders. Witness awe-inspiring aerial maneuvers in the halfpipe and incredible skills of trickery on the slopestyle course in this truly legendary contest, the Burton US Open 2016, live on Edge Sport. The Australian Open of Surfing is back.
It's back again and it's bigger and better than ever.
Get ready for the biggest celebration of surfing culture.
I love going down and watching the music. It's epic.
Join the world's best surfers for this iconic event at the legendary Manly Beach in Sydney for the most epic surfing festival of the year.
Oh my goodness, wow!
The Australian Open of Surfing 2016, live on Edge Sport. This is the Crankworx World Tour, the pinnacle of freeride mountain biking. The world's best riders are headed to Rotorua, New Zealand for the first stage of this iconic tour. Get ready for epic freestyle skills and adrenaline-fueled racing thrills. This event has it all. Join us for all the action. The Crankworx World Tour, Stop 1, Rotorua, New Zealand, live on Edge Sport.
Heavy snow and tough conditions also for the final pairing of round 3. Norway's Emil Ilsletten against Yuki Kodona from Japan. Kodona, who won the Air Style Beijing in 2013, set the pace with a backside 1080 Indy. Bags of style and a clean landing and 38.49 points for Kodona. Well, now the pressure was on for the recent Air Style Beijing winner Emil Ilsletten. The 21-year-old couldn't land his first 2 jumps and went for another frontside 1440 Indy and bailed again. That was the end for the reigning Beijing champion, and Kodona moved on to the super final.
Emil did a triple cork 1440, so I thought I needed to be more aggressive to win this heat. That's when I tried 1-2, and now I'm really happy that I made it.
The Air Style crowd at the Bergestål Stadium is as legendary as the place itself. And for years, the snowboard fans in Innsbruck have had the reputation as the most enthusiastic contest crowd in the world.
The Innsbruck Air Style is one of the best locations because of the stadium. There is always a big crowd and it's way nicer to ride when there is a lot of people watching and yelling and screaming.
They know all the riders, they know the tricks, they know what you're doing, they know what grabs you're doing, so that just adds more fuel to it though. It just gets you more stoked because you're competing in front of a crowd that actually knows what you're doing.
The audience is so close, so you can feel the energy. They're screaming so loud and everyone's super into it, and it makes the riders want to really do their best.
The more mayhem, the more you have to send it, kind of like you get pumped up, and the more people, the more fun.
For me, just having the big crowd and like everything going on at the same time, it helps me get tougher, you know. I'm not scared when I do the contest. I'm just going all in, you know.
I get so focused, I don't think about the people, or from when I drop in, I can't hear anything on my ears. It's just silence.
And once you land, it just goes back to this crazy, just boom, people yelling and like announcers screaming, and it's unreal. There's not really an event like it.
Well, it was still snowing for the super final at the 2015 Innsbruck Air and Style, and the 13,000 spectators in the Bergensal Stadium eagerly awaited the 4 finalists. Norway's Ståle Sandbæk and 3 previous Air and Style winners, with Finland's Peetu Peronen, Yuki Kodono from Japan, and Canada's Sebastian Tutam. Ståle Sandbæk has made it to 3 Air and Style podiums, and the 21-year-old was really looking to claim the top spot here in Innsbruck. Opening the super final, Sandbæk landed a perfect backside triple cork 1440 Indy. Another perfect triple cork all the way down the landing, and 44.46 points for Sandbæk. Up next, Yuki Kodono looking to add a second Air and Style title to his trophy collection. The Japanese rider pelted down the end run and went for a backside 1620 mute grab. Bit of a sketchy landing, and 32.29 points for Kodono. Up next, one of the most successful contest riders of the last 5 years, Peetu Peronen. He also chose a backside 1620 meat grab, and the experienced Finn absolutely nailed it. A solid start, and with 38.86 points, Peronen moved into second place. Well, Sebastian Tutam for Canada had not been on an Air and Style podium for a while, so what could he do? Struggling with the tricky snow conditions, Toots lost a lot of speed on the takeoff and bailed his frontside double cork 1080 mute grab. Focused and leading after 2 rounds, Yuki Kodono opened the final round of the 2015 Air and Style Super Final. And in his last run, the 19-year-old launched himself into a massive backside 1260 meat grab. A lot of style, and with 39.93 points, Kodono took over the lead. Ståle Sandbæk in the start gate, and last year's Olympic slopestyle silver medalist knew he had to be smart. He opted for a super stylish frontside 1080 Indy and stomped it. But was it enough to move past Kodono? Yes, with 37.13 points, Sandbæk took over the lead. Up next, Peetu Peronen. Would he take away the glory from Sandbæk and claim his 3rd Air and Style title? Peronen launched himself into a massive cab 1260 double grab. A clean landing and nervous moments for Sandbæk. Oh, but 40.53 points, not enough, and Sandbæk stayed in first place. Sebastian Tutam was ready for the last jump of the contest, but because of his 2 previous bails, the victory was already Sandbæk's. Toots went big and nailed a backside double rodeo 1260 double grab. Too little, too late though for Toots, and Ståle Sandbæk finally claimed his 1st Air and Style title. A deserved victory for the 21-year-old Norwegian, who cemented his place as one of the world's best contest riders, beating 3 previous Air and Style winners on the way.
It's the best feeling ever, you know. I've been doing Air Style for so many years. I have 3 podiums, but I never made it on the top. So finally I did, and feels good. Feels good going into LA as well. So yeah, good day for me.
So with another memorable Air and Style contest in Innsbruck coming to an end once again, the best snowboarders in the world pushed the levels of freestyle snowboarding and left their mark in Innsbruck's Bergensal Stadium.